History is being written. 0 to 230-minute. Headline: Europe stunned. Alexandra Eala on the verge of making history. The tennis world is holding its breath. Right now in Auckland, New Zealand, a historic match is about to unfold. Alexandra Eala, the 19-year-old rising star from the Philippines, stands before a golden opportunity to write a new chapter for Southeast Asian tennis. Her opponent? Magda Linette, the world number 38, a former Australian Open semi-finalist, and a Polish veteran with 15 years of WTA Tour experience. This isn't just any ordinary match. This is the quarterfinals of the ASB Classic 2025, and Alex has just taken down two powerhouses from Croatia, including Olympic champion Donna Vekic. Now the question all of Asia is asking, will Linette become the third victim? Let's be real. What Alex is doing isn't luck. She just served a 6-0 bagel, set in just 22 minutes against Petra Martic. 22 minutes. That's the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. But Alex used it to completely dismantle a top 100 player. Now that momentum is heading for a head-on collision with the Polish wall, Magda Linette. Here's the thing, Linette is no easy opponent. She is a classic counterpuncher who thrives on returning everything until her opponent makes a mistake. But the Alex Eala of 2025? She's no longer just a girl who hits hard. She is a tactical master who knows when to slice, when to drop shot, and when to unleash that lethal left-handed forehand. Momentum is on Alex's side. Fresh from a doubles walkover, she has a clear physical advantage over Linette, who is coming off an exhausting 3-set match. The stats tell the story. Alex's first serve percentage is at 58% compared to Linette's 55%. That 3% at an elite level can be the difference between breaking serve and holding. But here is what makes this match truly historic. One more win, and Alex will earn enough ranking points to walk straight into the main draws of future Grand Slams without going through qualifying. No more fighting through 3 rounds of qualifiers just for a chance. This is the leap from promising talent to genuine star. Can you imagine? A 19-year-old girl from the Philippines doing what no one dared to dream. 2 years ago, she was struggling on the ITF circuit. Now, she is making all of Europe hold its breath. Soft CTA. If you want to follow every hit and every tactic of this historic match, subscribe to Pro Tennis 360 now. We analyze every point and tactical decision so you can understand why Alex Eala isn't a fluke. She is the future of tennis. So the big question, does Magda Linette have enough power to stop the storm named Alex Eala? Or will she become the third name on the giant-killing list of the Filipino star? Let's dive deep into the analysis. From junior champion to giant slayer, an unstoppable journey. To understand the earthquake Alex Eala is causing, we need to look back at the journey. This isn't a lucky girl appearing out of nowhere. Alex Eala dominated world junior tennis, winning the 2022 US Open Juniors and the Australian Open Juniors doubles. But transitioning to the WTA Tour? That is a completely different story. The first 2 years were filled with blood and tears. Losses in qualifiers. Losses in ITF 25K events. Ranking points came in drops. Many wrote her off as another junior champion who couldn't make it. And honestly, they were almost right. Statistics show that 90% of junior champions never break into the WTA Top 100. But Alex Eala doesn't belong to that 90%. Fast forward to January 2025, and she is standing in a WTA 250 quarterfinal after defeating 2 consecutive top 100 players, including an Olympic medalist. What changed? Mental toughness. That's the answer. If you rewatch the match against Donna Vekic, you'll see something incredible. Alex saved 70% of break points. 70%. That means when her back was against the wall, under maximum pressure, she didn't collapse. She played better. That is the hallmark of a champion. And that left-handed forehand? Brutal. Absolutely brutal. Right-handed players are used to standard angles. But when Alex unleashes a cross-court forehand from the left side, the ball follows a trajectory that an opponent's brain isn't used to processing. That is why Petra Martic, an experienced baseline grinder, was crushed 6-0 in 22 minutes. Let's pause for a second because this is a crucial point. Alex's first serve percentage in this tournament is 58%. Sound unimpressive? You're wrong. At the WTA level, every percentage point of first serves in is the difference between holding serve comfortably and fighting for every game. When your opponent is someone like Linette, who lives for breaking serves, that 58% is a weapon of destruction. But let's talk about what stats can capture. Aura. Confidence. The way Alex walks onto the court now is entirely different from 6 months ago. She is no longer the trembling underdog. She is the hunter. And every opponent knows it. You can see it in their eyes when they step out to face her. After demolishing Martic, Alex said in an interview, "I knew I could play at this level. I just needed to prove it to myself first." Translation: she no longer doubts herself. And an athlete without self-doubt? Dangerous. Absolutely dangerous. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Alex is playing with house money. No one expected her in the quarterfinals. No one thought she'd beat Vekic. But here she is. And the pressure? It's entirely on Linette, the world number 38, facing a 19-year-old wildcard. Linette has to win. Alex? She just needs to play free. And that is exactly the formula for an even bigger upset. History is being written. 0-230 minute. Headline: Europe stunned. Alexandra Eala on the verge of making history. The tennis world is holding its breath. Right now in Auckland, New Zealand, a historic match is about to unfold. Alexandra Eala, the 19-year-old rising star from the Philippines, stands before a golden opportunity to write a new chapter for Southeast Asian tennis. Her opponent? Magda Linette, the world number 38, a former Australian Open semi-finalist, and a Polish veteran with 15 years of WTA Tour experience. This isn't just any ordinary match. This is the quarterfinals of the ASB Classic 2025, and Alex has just taken down two powerhouses from Croatia, including Olympic champion Donna Vekic. Now the question all of Asia is asking, will Linette become the third victim? Let's be real, what Alex is doing isn't luck. She just served a 6-0 bagel, set in just 22 minutes against Petra Martic. 22 minutes. That's the time it takes to drink a cup of coffee. But Alex used it to completely dismantle a top 100 player. Now that momentum is heading for a head-on collision with the Polish wall, Magda Linette. Here's the thing, Linette is no easy opponent. She is a classic counterpuncher who thrives on returning everything until her opponent makes a mistake. But the Alex Eala of 2025? She's no longer just a girl who hits hard. She is a tactical master who knows when to slice, when to drop shot, and when to unleash that lethal left-handed forehand. Momentum is on Alex's side. Fresh from a doubles walkover, she has a clear physical advantage over Linette, who is coming off an exhausting 3-set match. The stats tell the story. Alex's first serve percentage is at 58% compared to Linette's 55%. That 3% at an elite level can be the difference between breaking serve and holding. But here is what makes this match truly historic. One more win, and Alex will earn enough ranking points to walk straight into the main draws of future Grand Slams without going through qualifying. No more fighting through 3 rounds of qualifiers just for a chance. This is the leap from promising talent to genuine star. Can you imagine? A 19-year-old girl from the Philippines doing what no one dared to dream. 2 years ago, she was struggling on the ITF circuit. Now, she is making all of Europe hold its breath. Soft CTA. If you want to follow every hit and every tactic of this historic match, subscribe to Pro Tennis 360 now. We analyze every point and tactical decision so you can understand why Alex Eala isn't a fluke. She is the future of tennis. So the big question, does Magda Linette have enough power to stop the storm named Alex Eala? Or will she become the third name on the giant-killing list of the Filipino star? Let's dive deep into the analysis. Fire meets water, the battle between offense and defense. Imagine this, a fighter plane versus a tank. That is this matchup. Alexandra Eala is aggression, speed, and angles. Magda Linette is stability, patience, and walls. On paper, the tank wins every time, except when the fighter plane knows how to fly. Let's break down the stylistic clash. Alex is a first strike player. She wants to end points in 0 to 4 shots. Big serve, aggressive return, forehand winner. Boom, boom, boom. Next point. Modern tennis speed. The speed Gen Z loves. Linette? The exact opposite. She wants points to last 10 to 15 shots. Every rally is a test of lungs, legs, and mind. She doesn't need winners. She just needs you to hit unforced errors. And statistically, the majority of points in professional tennis end in errors, not winners. Here is the tactical breakdown. Alex's forehand, left-handed, heavy topspin, averaging 140 kilometers per hour, is her primary weapon. Specifically, the cross-court forehand from the deuce court. The natural trajectory of that shot pulls righties out wide, opening the court for an inside-out forehand winner. Linette has seen that shot hundreds of times, but from righties. From a lefty, it's an entirely different angle. But Linette has a counter, the backhand slice. She will slice the ball low and deep, forcing Alex to hit up, neutralizing her topspin advantage. This is a chess match. Alex wants to lift the ball. Linette wants to keep it low. Whoever imposes their game wins. Movement patterns? Polar opposites. Alex is an explosive mover, 0 to 60 in one step. She covers the court with athleticism and anticipation. Linette is an efficient mover. She never runs harder than she has to. She is always in the right place. She covers the court through positioning and court sense rather than raw speed. And here is where experience versus youth truly comes into play. In long rallies, Linette knows how to create patterns. Shot A, shot B, shot C. The opponent begins to anticipate shot D, but she hits shot E. Alex, being younger, might fall into those traps. She might start guessing instead of reacting. Serve patterns also contrast sharply. Alex serves to set up her forehand. A wide serve to drag the opponent out, then a forehand inside in. Linette serves to neutralize, down the tee, no risk, starting the point from a neutral position. Again, aggression versus stability. But let's talk about what the numbers don't say. Court presence. Alex walks onto the court with the swagger of a champion. Fist pumps. Roars. Emotional tennis. Linette? A poker face. No emotion. Robot-like consistency. Her psychological warfare is making you feel like you are hitting against a wall. Return of serve? Alex attacks everything. Standing inside the baseline, taking the ball early, redirecting pace. Linette absorbs pace, gets the ball back deep, and starts the rally. Two philosophies. End the point immediately versus extend the point indefinitely. Now here's where it gets spicy. In high-pressure moments, these styles clash hardest. Alex's aggression can win her quick games, or lead to quick losses if she gets too greedy. Linette's defense can frustrate opponents into errors, or allow them to find a rhythm if she gets too passive. The key question: who can impose their game? If Alex dictates with her forehand and keeps points short, she wins. If Linette extends rallies and makes Alex play 20 shot points, she wins. It's fire versus water, sword versus shield, youth versus experience. Let's see which element reigns supreme. Stats breakdown. Why Alex has the clear advantage. Numbers don't lie. And when you dig into the stats, the story is clear. Alexandra Eala is playing the best tennis of her life, while Linette is showing signs of vulnerability. Let's go deep. First serve percentage. This is a critical stat. Alex is hitting 58% in this tournament. Linette, 55%. You might think only 3%, but at the elite level, 3% is enormous. That's the difference between holding serve comfortably versus facing break points in every service game. But what about first serve points won? Alex, 71%. Linette, 68%. This means when Alex gets her first serve in, she wins the point 71% of the time. That is dominant. It means Linette will face an uphill battle every time Alex holds serve. break point conversion. This is where champions are separated. Alex has saved 70% of break points in this tournament. 70%. Meaning when her back is against the wall, she delivers. Linette, 58%. Still good, but not 70%. In a tight match, that 12% is the difference between the semifinals and going home. Unforced errors per game. This is fascinating. Alex, 2.1. Linette, 1.8. On the surface, Linette looks cleaner. But context matters. Alex plays aggressive tennis. She will naturally have more errors. But she also has more winners. 4.3 per game versus Linette's 2.1. That is double. Think about it. Alex produces double the winners with only slightly more errors. That is an elite risk-reward ratio. Linette plays safe tennis, fewer errors, but also fewer ways to win points. Rally length statistics tell the whole story. The average rally length Alex wins is 6.2 shots. The average rally Linette wins is 11.4 shots. Translation: Alex wins quick, Linette wins long. In this match, whoever controls the rally length controls the match. Physical conditioning data is a major factor. Alex played 68 minutes of total tennis in the previous 2 rounds. Linette, 142 minutes. More than double the court time. And remember, Linette is 32 years old. Recovery time after a 3-set marathon matters enormously. Service games held, Alex, 87%. Linette, 81%. A 6% difference seems small until you realize in a best-of-3 match, that's the difference between 1 break and 2 breaks. And 2 breaks? That's a set. But the stat that really stands out is second serve points won. Alex, 54%. Linette, 48%. Why this matters? Because when the first serve doesn't go in, which happens 40 to 45% of the time, the quality of the second serve determines if you get attacked. Linette's 48% means she is losing the point more than half the time when she has to use her second serve. That is a vulnerability Alex will exploit. Ace percentage, Alex, 4.2%. Linette, 1.8%. Not huge numbers either way, but Alex's ability to occasionally hit an unreturnable serve gives her free points that Linette doesn't have. Those free points add up. Age and ranking trajectory paint an interesting picture. Alex has climbed 187 ranking spots in the last 6 months. Linette lost 14 spots. One player's graph is going straight up. The other's is trending down. Momentum is real. Head-to-head against common opponents. Both played Karolina Machova recently. Alex lost 6-4, 7-6, a close match. Linette beat her 6-4, 3-6, 7-5, also close. So the playing field is level. No one has an overwhelming advantage in the quality of tennis. The final stat is intangible but real. Social media buzz. Alex's matches are getting 3x the engagement compared to Linette's. Why does it matter? Pressure. Linette will walk onto the court knowing millions are watching, expecting an upset. Alex? She feeds off that energy. Numbers paint a clear picture. Alex has slight edges across multiple categories. When you add them up, they form a clear narrative. And in sports, narrative becomes reality. Tactics and forecast. Alex Eala will win 2-1. Okay, let's break down exactly how this match will unfold. This isn't guessing, it's analyzing based on styles, stats, and recent form. My prediction? Alex wins 6-4, 4-6, 6-3. Here is why. First set, Alex starts hot. She's coming off dominant performances, and her confidence is sky high. Linette starts cold, still recovering from her marathon match. Alex holds serve easily for the first 3 games and breaks Linette once for a 4-2 lead. Linette steadies the ship and holds her remaining serves, but Alex closes it out 6-4. This is the standard script for an aggressive player versus a defensive player in an opening set. Second set. This is where Linette's experience shows. She has figured out Alex's patterns. She notices Alex goes inside-out forehand 80% of the time when pulled wide and starts anticipating. Meanwhile, physical freshness becomes a factor. Linette's legs warm up, and she finds her rhythm. Long rallies start favoring her. Alex gets slightly impatient, goes for too much, and errors creep in. Linette breaks twice and takes the set 6-4. Third set. Championship mentality on display. Both players are at peak intensity. The difference? Alex has proven she thrives in these moments, that 70% breakpoint save rate. Linette, conversely, has lost 8 of her last 12 three-setters. Mental fatigue from the previous round catches up. Alex breaks early for 2-1, holds on, and closes it out 6-3. Tactical keys for Alex. Attack Linette's second serve aggressively. Stats show Linette wins only 48% of second serve points. That is a vulnerability to exploit. Stand inside the baseline on the return, take the ball early, and redirect pace. Don't let Linette establish a rhythm. Use the lefty advantage. Hit heavy topspin forehands cross-court to Linette's backhand. Force her to hit up. When she slices, take the ball on the rise and go down the line. Don't engage in backhand-to-backhand rallies. That's Linette's comfort zone. Vary serve placement. Don't get predictable. Mix body serves, wide serves, and serves down the tee. Keep Linette guessing. Crucially, keep a high first serve percentage. At 58%, Alex can dictate. If it drops to 45%, she's in trouble. Tactical keys for Linette. Slow the game down. Take time between points. Make Alex wait. Disrupt her rhythm. When rallying, hit deep neutral balls and wait for Alex to go for too much. Don't give her pace. Force Alex to generate her own power. Target Alex's backhand. While her forehand is a weapon, her backhand is relatively weaker. Make her hit 20 backhands in a row. Test her patience. If she tries to run around it, hit behind her. Make her uncomfortable. Change pace frequently. Use drop shots occasionally. Mix slices with topspin. Anything to disrupt Alex's timing. Young players struggle with variety. They want rhythm. Deny her that comfort. Critical moments to watch. The first breakpoint opportunity. Whoever wins the first break likely takes the psychological edge. Also, the 4-4 games in any set. That's where mental toughness shows. A champion mindset wins at 4-4. If the match goes to a third set tiebreak, huge advantage to Alex. Younger legs, shorter previous match time, and momentum. Linette would need perfect execution to win a tiebreak against a confident Alex. Weather conditions favor Alex, too. The forecast shows warm conditions, 26 degrees Celsius. Linette's marathon match means she is more depleted. Heat favors the fresher player. Final prediction confidence level, 70%. It's not guaranteed. Tennis never is. But based on a comprehensive analysis, beyond tennis, Alexandra Eala is the symbol of a generation. Let's zoom out and talk about the bigger picture. This isn't just about one match or one player. This is about shifting paradigms in Southeast Asian tennis. Historically, tennis in Southeast Asia has been an afterthought. Badminton and table tennis dominated. Tennis was a footnote. No Filipino, Vietnamese, Indonesian, or Thai player has ever cracked the WTA Top 100. 0. Southeast Asia has been a tennis desert on the world map. Alexandra Eala is changing that narrative single-handedly. Imagine Filipino kids watching their hero compete and win against European stars. Suddenly, tennis isn't a sport for rich white countries. It's a sport where we can compete too. The cultural impact is enormous. The Philippines has 110 million people, a massive population, and a massive talent pool. But the tennis infrastructure is weak, few courts, expensive equipment, and limited coaching. Why? Because there were no role models. There was no proof that the investment pays off. If Alex succeeds, everything shifts. The government invests in tennis programs. Private sponsors fund academies. Talented kids choose tennis over basketball. Coaches get trained. Courts get built. A virtuous cycle begins. Look at what Naomi Osaka did for Japanese tennis. Before her, Japan had decent players but not elite ones. After her Grand Slam wins, an explosion of young Japanese players reaching the top 100. Inspiration creates tangible results. The same pattern is playing out here. Alex's success is already inspiring the next wave. Filipino juniors see her on TV and think, if she can do it, maybe I can too. That belief, that possibility, is a game changer. But the implications go beyond the Philippines. The entire Southeast Asian region is watching. Thai, Vietnamese, and Indonesian players see proof that geography isn't destiny. That with the right training, dedication, and mental toughness, anyone from anywhere can compete. Tennis politics matter, too. Grand Slam tournaments want diversity. They want players from different regions to globalize the sport. A Southeast Asian champion making deep runs is a marketable story. Tournament directors take notice, offer more wild cards to the region, and create more opportunities. The economic implications are huge. If Alex cracks the top 50, sponsors will line up. Not just Filipino sponsors, but global brands wanting access to the Southeast Asian market. Prize money, endorsements, and appearance fees all flow back to the region, funding future generations. Media coverage shifts, too. Right now, Western media largely ignores Southeast Asian tennis. Alex in Grand Slam main draws? Suddenly, ESPN and Eurosport are covering her matches. Visibility creates legitimacy. Legitimacy attracts resources. Think about the ripple effects. Filipino parents currently steering kids toward basketball or academics might reconsider. Alexandra Eala is making millions playing tennis? Maybe my daughter should train seriously. More kids training equals a bigger talent pool, which equals a higher ceiling for the best players. Infrastructure follows success. It doesn't precede it. The Philippines won't build world-class tennis academies because maybe someday someone good will emerge. They'll build them because Alexandra Eala proved someone can emerge. Success attracts investment. Would you like me to look into the specifics of Alexandra Eala's recent training regimen at the Rafa Nadal Academy or analyze the potential ranking jump if she wins the entire tournament?